Okay, what I wanted to cover is how to make a simple Gantt chart. A Gantt chart is a chart where we can write down the tasks that we need to create, and then we can put dates on those so we can make sure that we're staying on a schedule. And so this is a really good process to be able to see in a quick glance exactly what are all the things that we need to do, when, how much time it's going to take to do each one of them, and so we can figure out, what our final duration is. So to do this, this is a simple one that I made, and I'm just going to go back through and show you how I created this. Okay, which basically we've got a graph down here, and then once we create, all the information in our graph down here, then we can do a graphical interface up here that will take this data and make it into a little chart that's visually appealing. All right. So to start off, what we're going to do is let me just make a new blank document, and I'll move this one out of the way. Okay. So up here at the top, the first thing we're going to do is our first column is where we're going to give a description to whatever the task is we want to do. So we'll just call this task to complete. Okay, that'll be our first column. Okay, so whatever the task is that we need to complete. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this whole column, and then I'm going to go over here. I'm on my home tab here, and I'm going to go over here to format, and I'm going to create this auto fit to column width. So as I'm typing things in here, it'll automatically expand this. Okay, the second one, what we're going to do is going to be the duration of whatever our task is that we need to do. The third one we'll make it is our start date. So where are we going to complete this or start this? And then the third one here will be our, we'll say our delivery date. There's nothing magical about these names. You can name things whatever you want to name them. So what is the task that we're going to complete? We're going to give it a short name. Then how long is it going to take us to do the task? What day are we going to start on the task? And then what day will it be delivered? Okay. Then the last one we need to do here is a description. So we're going to put task description. Okay. And since we're going to be writing quite a bit of information into this, I'm going to make it kind of long, something like this. Now, in this particular column, what I want to do is I want it to be able to wrap based on height as I type information in here. So as I type the information in here, I'm going to want it to wrap. Okay, so what we're going to do here is pick this, and we're going to click this right here that's called wrap text. Now, the other thing I want to do here is I want this text I write in here, I want it to be aligned to the left and the top. So left, top, and wrap the text. Then the other thing I want to do in this is to do I'm going to go over here to format, and I'm going to auto fit its row height. That way, as I put information in here and it's longer than what it needs to go in there, it'll adjust the height accordingly. The delivery date will center that duration and date, but all of these will just center these. This one we want flush left and to the top also. And I think that's what we need to do. Okay, so and let's make all of these to the top. All right, so we want to give this a color just so it's easy to see. So we'll say something like a light gray, like this. All right, now, so what we're going to be putting in here is the name of whatever task we're going to complete. Okay, so we'll just call this, for right now, we'll just call this task 1. And then what we can do is we're going to pick these this column, and then we'll pull it down to, we'll say 10 tasks, you know, whatever they are. We can expand it to whatever. Then you're going to come in here and give this different names. Okay. Now I've already written out a whole structure in here, so I'm just going to copy mine and paste them in here. Okay. So mine is based on this particular chart is based on creating a character from concept art all the way to the modeling and texturing and final delivery. So in my first section is going to be, and this should be auto filling column width. There we go. The character concept thumbnails. Okay. I think it should take a day to create the thumbnails. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to give this a date. Let's say that it was starting today. So 7/8. And I'm going to change the way this shows. So what we're going to do is right click on here, and we're going to go down here to format cell, and then I'm going to change this to be date, and I'm going to leave the default and click OK, and then that'll put the date in there. I'm going to want this to be a date also, like so. All right, so now to fill in this, okay, so we're saying it's going to take a day to do the thumbnails. We're going to start on this date. Now, I'm going to have this automatic fill this in, okay. To do that, you're going to put some code in here. It's really easy code, okay. So all we're going to do is we're going to say equals. So this delivery date is going to equal this date, and then a plus sign plus this duration, and then hit enter. And so it's going to automatically figure out this date for us. Okay. Let me do that again. So all we're doing is clicking in here. We're typing in equals. Okay. An equal sign. So this is going to equal, and then just click this. It's going to equal this. So it's going to put C2 because this is C is column and 2 is the cell. Okay, so it's going to equal this, and then put a plus sign to add this to it. So it's equals this plus this, and then hit enter, and it'll give us a date. So now as we come in here and we do our tasks, okay, so our second one I'm going to do here is character concept review. So we're going to create the character thumbnails, then we're going to review the thumbnails. Okay. And that's where you're going to submit those to the to the creative director for review. Okay. From there, we'll do final concept sketches. After that's approved, then we'll do base mesh, create a base mesh. From there, then we'll take it into Mudbox and sculpt it. Mudbox or ZBrush. ZBrush is the industry standard, but you guys are using Mudbox, which is fine. Okay, and then from there, we're going to sculpt. Okay, and once we're going to take this sculpt and we're going to bring it in and retopologize it. Okay. And what we might put in here is maybe brackets and Maya. So we're going to retopo it in Maya. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to unwrap it. Why is this not holding on to my width? Okay. So we'll unwrap it. Then we're going to create the maps for that. Then once we've created the maps, we will upload the mesh, upload the model and its maps to Sketchfab. And then the last thing we'll do is we're going to post it onto our website. We'll post a Sketchfab viewer, and this is going to be on Behance is where we'll take that. Okay, so here's all my tasks that I'm going to do. Okay, so now I have to come in here and figure out what my durations are. And so I'm going to say this is going to take a day. This will take 2 days. 1 day for this. To do the actual sculpt, I'll be generous, 4 days on that. Say, be generous on this, 4 days here for the retopo, and 2 days to unwrap it. I'm being kind of generous with these. To create the various maps, we'll say 5 days on that, and then a day to upload the mesh, and then a day to get it inside of Behance. Okay, so this is the duration of what it's going to take us. Okay, so the other thing that we're going to assume is that when I stop one, then I'm going to start the next task. So when this task ends, then I'm going to start this task. So all I have to do here is type in equals and then click on this and then hit enter. And so it's going to automatically calculate this for me. So all I have to do now is let's just pull this one down, and now let's grab both of these and just pull down, and then it's going to fill all this in for me. Okay, so now I have the start dates and the end dates and the duration and the description of it. Okay, now over here we'll create long descriptions of what is the task is going to be. Okay, so this is just a title and then a real description over here. For example, for my character thumbnails, I'm going to give it a description, and the description is going to be I'm giving the character name, so 30 thumbnail sketches for a certain character. Okay, next thing is meet with the creative director, Professor Udi, to gather feedback and choose a final direction. So on all of these, what we're doing is just giving a description, a more descriptive, so that it's easy for anybody to understand what's going on. Okay, so once we've got that information, then we deliver 5 final concept sketches from the previous meeting. Okay, and so forth. You're going to put all these descriptions in here. I'm just going to pause it while I drop all these descriptions I already have in here. Okay, so I've dropped these descriptions in here. Now what we want to do is to come in here and give us a little bit of a grid around this, so we can go ahead and pick all these cells. If you go right here, you can click all borders, and then it'll put borders in there. Sometimes what I do is I come up here and say, okay, on the bottom, I want it to be a thicker border on the bottom to separate these, and that'll kind of help us separate. Then the other thing to make it easier is I want to color these, every other one, a different color, so it's easier to kind of see them. So I'm just holding down my control key and I'm picking the cells for every other row. And then you can come up here with your little fill bucket and you can give it some color, whatever you want to give it. It's totally up to you. And so there is my basic chart. I may come in here and make these bold. And there is my basic data that I need, which gives me a good idea of all the steps that I have to go through from the initial concept stages all the way through the modeling stages, the texturing stages, to the final delivery stages of a particular character, all the way from the design all the way through the modeling and the texturing. Okay. Giving myself a specific, I'm giving myself a specific duration for each one of those, when it's going to start and then when it's going to be finished, and then a brief description of each one of these. Now, I see that a lot of you students, what you're having a tendency to do is you're not going into this much detail. You're just saying, model a character. Okay. Well, what does that mean? Okay. It's not, you're just kind of filling in the chart, but you're not using the chart as a tool. And the chart is a tool to make sure that you're spending enough time and that the pace that you're working at will be able to get us to where we need to go. Okay. So there is the basis of that. And next thing we want to do is to make a nice graphic. So to do that, what we're going to do is go up here to Insert, to click on the Insert, and then you're going to click right here where this little column is. And then we're going to pick a 2D or a 3D bar. Okay. And what we want is this second one, which is called a stack bar. Now you can do it 2D or you can do it 3D. It's totally up to you. I like the 2D ones. And so that's what I'm going to click. And that's going to make us a specific bar. Now you can close this or open this and make it whatever size. And right now we'll come back to it and resize it and put it somewhere else. But okay, so this has got our basic chart, but we don't have any data in it yet. So that's the next thing we're going to do is put some data in it. Okay, to put data into this is pretty simple. All you have to do is click on it and then right click. Okay, and then you're going to go down here and click this where it says select data. And then this is going to allow us to pick the data from our chart to put down here. So over on the left right here, you want to click add. And then this is going to pop up. Now, here is going to be what we're going to be adding into this. And so what we want to do is we want to add our start date into this. So by clicking into this, then all we have to do is click where this says start date, and then it's going to put some code in here, but that's going to be what it's going to say start date. Then this is going to be the values, which are all these values down here. So we go in here, we delete this out of here, make sure your cursor's in here, then select and drag, and then it's going to add all that data in there, and then you're going to click OK. And then that's going to start putting all our information into this chart. So the next information we're going to put in here is we're going to click add. And then this one, what we're going to do is do the duration. So with your cursor in here, click duration, delete this out of here, and then you're going to pick this duration. And that's going to give us our duration of what the task is going to take. So then the next thing we want to do is to get these names into our chart. So what you're going to do here is you're going to click edit, and then we're going to go over here and click and pull down on this and click OK, and then that will put our names into our chart over here. So at this point we have all the information we need on our chart. We need them we're going to adjust it some, but we have all the information, so go ahead and just click OK. Okay, so now what we want to do is we have some extra information in here, which are these little blue lines. They're kind of blue lines in mine. So we want to pick this, and then you want to right click, and we want to go Format Data Series. Okay, then once this pops up over here, go to your Fill kit. Okay, over here, open up fill, and we want to click no fill so that it just makes that transparent. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is this whole list is backwards, so it reverses what we want to do here. So we want to click this list, right click, and we want to go down to Format Axis. Then you'll come over here, and right down here you'll go Categories in Reverse Order. Click that, and then that will reverse the order, so now it's in the same order of what our original structure was. So the next thing we want to do is, you'll notice in our chart that there's a large gap here at the beginning. And so we want to get rid of this gap. Okay, so to do that, we want our chart to start at our beginning date here. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is to copy this information and come down here just to a cell down here and paste it. Okay, now the way this system works is everything's based on a number. So when I come over here and I click on this part of the chart, which is our dates, you'll see that it's the minimum, which is the beginning, the start is a number. Okay, so we can't just put a date in there. So what you have to do is you click on this, and then right up here where this says date, we're going to change this to number, and then that's the number. So you want to copy that number. So just copy this, and then click on the this little area here where it's got the dates, and then paste this into the first spot, and then that will adjust that's the beginning of our chart. We can adjust the back also, but really I don't have a problem that there's some extra on there, so that's fine. So I want to delete this, and we need to take that border off of there. So no border. Okay, so now our chart is pretty much completed. So we can change the color on this if we want to. We can click here and go to our fill, and here's your fill color right here. We could change this to be whatever we want it to be. And what we're going to do here is, or what I like to do, is kind of move it off. And then right up here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and insert a cell up here at the top, and then drag this down. And then I'm going to take my chart and I'm going to drag it up, and I'm going to place it into this section up here, and then give it the same width. And then I can always, adjust this. And now it's put this all together, and there you have it. That's a complete chart ready to go. It's got all of your tasks listed in it. Has the duration of each one of them, start date, the end date, brief description of each one of these, and then a graph that kind of shows how these are going to lap together. Okay, that's how to create a simple Gantt chart, and hopefully that helps you. All right, thank you.